Hi there. Welcome to the Women's Spa Virtual Retreat. I hope that you all have had an incredible time so far. I hope that you have been encouraged, and I hope that you have learned some tips on how to relax the body, how to have great health. And I hope that you've been enjoying this. Maybe you're with a couple of girlfriends, or maybe you've created a beautiful spa environment for yourself. I hope that you have. But I also hope that you have a pen and paper available and that you're going to be able to take some notes as well. So I'm Linda Brown, and I am a holistic wellness coach and nutritionist. And I had a Pilates studio for many, many years. And I own the business Completely Fit for Life. And I've owned that business, I don't know, 30 plus years. And in that business, what we do is nutrition analysis, frequency analysis. We find out what's going on in your body, where your body might be a little stagnant, and what blocks that you might have that keep you from weight loss and other things that you're trying to succeed in with regard to your health. And I teach mat Pilates online. I also have a business called Temple Tough, which if you go to my website, Completely Fit for Life, you will find all of the services there. So I hope you take the time to go and browse and see what I have to offer. And I hope you connect with me. I really hope that. Okay, so I really wanted to start off today. I'm going to be glancing over at my notes now and then, but I'm going to be coming right back and hopefully having some good eye contact with you, even though I can't see you. I wish we were in person, but so forgive me for reading my notes. I just wanted to start off with a prayer. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, if we could just pause for a second. And I just wanted to pray. I wanted to pray over you that today you would be a receiver. Women are such givers. And if men are listening, I know men give a lot too. So I hope y'all can be in a receiving mode. And I hope that you are able to receive the goodness of God and all that God has for you. And I pray that you'll have rest and that you'll have peace. And I'm asking God to move powerfully in your life, to bless you, to give you wisdom, how to move in your health and how to move in your wellness. I pray that things will land on you. There will be an impartation of who God is, of his purity, of the possibilities and the abundance that is there for us, and especially the wisdom. Especially now in light of all that's going on in our world. So I just pray that you can be a great receiver today. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jesus. Today, I am going to talk on harmony, health, and frequency, and what it looks like to take your wellness to the next level. Energy, vibration, and frequency are all a part of our being. Energy is in everything. Energy is in a park bench. Energy is in the bamboo shades behind me. Energy is in you. It's in me. It's in plants. It's really, energy is everywhere because everything has a slight energetic value to it, okay? And then vibration, just to give you a little background, vibration is kind of that vibration, that whether it's slow or whether it's fast, that vibration is what's moving the energy. And sometimes the vibration can be slow and sometimes it can be fast. And it's all connected in with frequency, which is, if you will, an electrical voltage, okay? It's kind of this electromagnetic pulsating frequency that goes through the body and helps with the vibration and helps with the energy that is there. So we could maybe be running on a low frequency, which means that things are not going to be flowing real well in our body. So maybe you have a sluggish metabolism, or maybe you have irritable bowel, or maybe you have gut issues, or whatever it might be. And that might be because your frequency is low. So the vibration is not working well, your rhythm is not working well, and the energy is not being moved. And energy was meant to be moved, okay? That's just how we're created. So we are created in an incredible way. And I wanted to talk a little bit more in detail about that, okay? We are learning more and more on how to increase health in our body. We're learning how to increase health with our emotions and our mindset and our spiritual being, which activates our immune system, by the way. This is why I named my business Completely Fit for Life. It's the number four, for the emotional connection, the mind connection, the spiritual connection, which all lands in the physical, okay, or the physical connection. And it's really important to engage the whole body for total health. I believe now is the time to teach people, to reach people, to educate them, to restore and rebuild their health. This is my job, and it certainly is my passion. And I love being an encourager to those I meet and to help my clients become aware of how to attain their best health ever. That is my goal. And of course, they participate and partner with me in that. I wanted to start off by sharing just a few personal little stories that are relevant to harmony, health, and frequency. One of them is kind of silly. It's when I was a little girl, and I had this little silly cooking set, like little pie tins and that sort of thing. And I loved going outside and filling those little tins up with dirt and then putting water in it. I loved the smell of wet dirt. It was so intriguing to me, and I loved it so much that I really wanted to eat it. And I did try a couple of times, but it wasn't all that great to ingest. But there was a reason that I loved baking those little dirt mud pies. They would just bake in the sun. I loved the smell. It really did made me feel really happy. Isn't that strange? But now I know why that is. My body was actually giving me a signal, but I was so little, I had no idea about any of that. So what's so interesting is the smell. I wasn't a very healthy little girl, okay? My health definitely struggled for various reasons. I was deficient in iron, I was deficient in zinc, and I was deficient in calcium. And these deficiencies definitely showed up in my body, causing me to have nosebleeds every day, and my hair struggled to grow. You know how new hair growth kind of comes in at the base here? I had no new hair growth. That was not happening. And then each morning I would wake up with my eyes kind of glued shut, and there was like this kind of a crusty discharge that would come out of my eyes, but my eyes would actually be shut. My mom would actually have to use a solution to get my eyes to even open up. So it was a little over the top. Eventually, I grew out of all this as I became healthier. But my point in telling you the story is that our bodies definitely tell a story. And so you want to pay attention to what your body is saying. Like even now, just pause for a moment and think about it. What does your body do that you like or don't like? What's happening in your body right now? Just think about that for a minute. I know that my body, with all those deficiencies as a little girl, it was because of my environment, it was because of my eating habits, my emotional interactions, and my relationships. As a little girl, this all affected my health. My energy, my vibration, and my frequency were low. My body was stagnant, and the flow of fluid and energy and toxins were slow. So my body wasn't releasing things quickly. It was creating an atmosphere of compromised health. And I know now how to reverse the damage of this, and I know how to help the body restore and rebuild. And that's what I do with my clients. Health is a peculiar thing. As a nutritionist, I see a lot of people, and each person can have a different reaction to food, nutrient absorption, weight gain, weight loss, sleep, anxiety, energy, and disease. And there are definitely reasons for this. I've been in the health industry for over 40 years, and my education allows me to work with people on an emotional level and a physical level and a spiritual level. And then I also address mindset. And I want to look at how people choose thoughts and what's happening there. Because as we choose thoughts, and we have thousands of thoughts that come into our head every day, and as we choose them, they actually can create a chemical drip. That's how we are. We are physiological. So there's a chemical drip that happens in our body with those thoughts that come in, especially when we begin entertaining them. So we have to be very careful about which thoughts we choose to entertain, because that can put an overload on the body. The chemical reaction that's happening, the body tries to always gain harmony, always trying to gain pH, proper pH in our system. So keep that in mind, okay? So I have to say, just with my education and my background, I understand how trauma, a poor diet, anxiety, insecurities, etc., can show up on our physical bodies and weaken our immune system. I've been teaching on this for years, and I have seen firsthand that when we shift a person's emotions, I've seen it with myself. If I shift my emotions and mindset, and I bring an awareness to the spiritual body, that the physical body actually can get better. I love working with people on a whole level. So we're not just putting a Band-Aid on an issue at hand, but we're actually diving for the root of the problem. Because if you put a Band-Aid on it, it just is going to come back, right? And I'm sure you've all experienced that with dieting, yo-yo dieting, whatever it might be, weight loss, weight gain. Things can come back. So it's really best to get to the root of what's going on, okay? I also think that you and I have seen people, we're around people, and so we can really tell what might be going on with them. We don't even have to talk to them or know their story. Like, for instance, myself, I've been through breast cancer. I've been through some crazy emotional traumas in my life. And especially when I went through breast cancer, that created a lot of fear in me. So I had to get to the root of what was going on in my body that was creating an atmosphere for disease to even, exist. And there's so many things that we can do. I have to share this story. When I went through breast cancer, I really did have a lot of fear. And a lot of things were going on. I had some really traumatic things happen, and then thus I became sick. And I was pretty healthy. I was still eating, pretty pure, but my emotional body was not in a good space. And so here we have disease. And I was doing all the right things, and I was really, trying to get a hold of and get to the root of what was going on. But I went to this amazing place. And when I went to this amazing place, it was up in Reading at this church called Bethel. And they did all kinds of healings there and that sort of thing. Well, the pastor that was standing up on the stage, he called for a healing for cancer. So all these people stood up in the church. I mean, there were a lot of people, and they stood up. I'm not kidding you. There was probably at least 100 people that stood up that were either going through it or had gone through it. And there was a girl next to me who had overcome it. And the pastor said, hey, just grab, who's ever next to you. If you see their hand up and they need prayer, just lay your hands on them. Well, she put her hand on me on the right side, which is where I actually went through the breast cancer. And she prayed this prayer that was just beautiful. It was authoritative and strong. And I actually felt a jolt go through my body. And it was really awesome. It made me cry. It was just incredible. And I was so thankful and so grateful. I knew there was a shift at that time. And then I also knew that I really wanted to hold on to that healing, that beautiful, supernatural, amazing healing that was happening in my body. And so that really started me moving forward in learning more about how to continue to take care of my emotional health, which I knew was the culprit behind what I was going through. So that's a little side story, little personal story that I really felt like I should share with you. So when we get to the foundation, um, and our foundation is super important. When we get to the root and we're actually tapping on the foundation, we want to make sure that we're actually coming from a strong foundation built on truth, not a survival foundation on things that have happened to us or the trauma that's happened to us or the things that have landed on us. We actually want to get to a new foundation and recreate, if you will, a strong foundation. And we certainly can do that. You can do that. I certainly did it. And it does create an atmosphere for health to thrive. So this also gives an opportunity for us to dwell on facts about nutrition. Okay, so facts on how our cells operate, what does science say about our body, and last but not least, seemingly the most helpful to me when I look at an individual or I look at myself, is what God says about me, what God says about them, how we were created, and what makes us tick. How do you really hold on to abundant health and abundant, vibrant energy? And then how do we encourage that in each other? So the Bible says that we are God's masterpiece and that our bodies are a temple for His Holy Spirit to dwell. So that kind of means that our body is important to take care of. Each of us carries a beautiful gift, a spiritual gift, if you will. Not just a talent. I know you all have talents, but this is a gift. And this gift actually comes from God, our creator. And it's actually inlaid in our DNA. And when we get off track through maybe abuse or trauma or ill health or whatever the derailing is, our cells become weak. They lack luster, they lack energy, and the frequency of our cells goes down, creating the potential for ill health. It's an incredible wake-up call for most people when they look at their bodies and their health on a whole picture level. They really look at who they are. It just makes sense to address a person's health from a holistic approach. This encourages old habits to die and new habits to form. So I also, think that I had another incident happen with regard to health and trying to understand frequency that kind of opened up my eyes. I've been in the health industry for a very long time, so this happened maybe 10 years into my career. Where I had an excruciating pain in my left shoulder blade. It would never go away. It had been there for a long time. And I had a massage therapist try a technique on me where she just put her elbow into the pain. That was not fun, let me tell you. But as she did, she just kept telling me to breathe because it was extremely painful. And she kept saying, breathe, breathe, breathe. And so I was breathing, and then the breathing turned into crying and releasing. And so many tears came out of me. And with tears, I had all these memories that were just like a movie, just going boom, 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 right through my brain. And that really woke me up to understanding what the body does and how the body operates. And I really wanted to learn a lot more about that. So I've taken the time to get educated on that. And I really have a passion about it. I think it's incredible. So how about you? Where are you with your health? And during this time of shutdowns and quarantine, how have you been doing? I want to engage with you for just a moment. So grab a pen and a paper and write down your answers to these questions, okay? On a scale from 1 to 10, how much joy do you feel right now and on a daily basis? And joy, don't confuse joy with happiness. Joy is a pretty good feeling that everything's going to be okay and you're content. You can actually carry joy. in the midst of crisis. Okay, so scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. All right, write that down. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, how much fear do you feel each day? Once again, 10 being the highest. So just write that down. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how much hope do you feel? And remember, hope is in things that you don't see, okay? Because if you saw it, you wouldn't need to be hopeful about it because it's right there in front of you. So how much hope do you carry in things that are not seen? You know, that unseen realm of things are going to be okay, or you are hopeful about something, hopeful about our world, or hopeful about your health. Hopeful about your well-being or your family, okay? And then a few fun questions for you. Do you dance? Do you sing? Do you worship God? Do you choose your words before you speak? Do you have a support system to help you stay on track with a positive narrative about who you are? And do you take the time to help other people? I mean, do you go out of your way to do that? Every one of those things that I just mentioned, those fun questions, even the other three, all of them will encourage frequency in your body. So whether the frequency is high or whether the frequency is low. So when you're dancing, you're creating frequency in the body. When you sing, especially when you're happy in worship or singing songs that you love, you definitely are increasing your frequency. Okay, so what does that mean? You know, what does it mean increasing our frequency? Well, I'm going to go into a couple of little, maybe scientific kind of ideas here. We end up with a reduced cell membrane voltage whenever we hold on to, let's say, anger, because anger is a low frequency. Maybe a depression, anxiety, all of those things, those are low frequencies. So when you're holding on to it, there's not very much voltage going through your body. Therefore, you end up with stagnant energy in your body. Okay, so that's something to pay attention to. We have a healthy cell has a value of about 70 millivolts. That may mean something to you or not, depending on what you know about voltage. But a lower voltage than 70 can lead to a disturbed cell metabolism and can result in health problems. Bacteria, viruses, and disease each have their own low frequency too. So if you get sick, your frequency drops. And it's very compromising to the immune system because the body has to work overtime, okay? So it's very important for us to prepare and strengthen our immune system and to understand frequency. To keep it simple, we do have technology that can test frequency, and everything has frequency. Remember, I said even a park bench. The earth has an electromagnetic field around it as well, which protects all living things with a natural frequency. It's a rhythm, it's a harmony that keeps life going, and science has proven this. They haven't actually proven where that energy comes from. But my guess is that it comes from God, because in the Bible, in Colossians 1, it says that in God, in Him, all things are held together. Okay, so it's really important to pay attention once again to how we're made and how can we activate that frequency. Okay, so what's the big deal about frequency, and how can this knowledge help us with our health? I think you're starting to get the idea. Frequency is in the tone of our voice. You can hear it. You know, if somebody's yelling at you or has a high-pitched voice or whatever, okay, there's frequency in the tone of our voice. There's also a frequency that happens when we speak and the emotions that we emit. For instance, joy carries, remember I said joy carries a really high frequency and anger carries a low frequency, but we have an energy field that's around our body. That's another scientific fact. So we really want to take care of that energy field. And I'm not going to get into that a lot today, but you certainly can email me and we can do some frequency testing and analysis on you and see where you're at. The right frequency can actually kill a virus and help strengthen our immune system. If you can bring a cell back to a healthy voltage range, you can help your body get its strength back. A cell is the smallest building block in every organ of our body. You have 70 trillion cells in your body. The number of cells in your body is 4,000 times larger than the world population. I mean, come on, that's wow. That's just wow right there. You might want to write that down. Healthy cells make healthy organs, and healthy organs make a strong body and a strong immune system. And I'm going to share something with you on my screen share right now. I just kind of want you to look at just a few things that actually can help with our frequency. Okay, so I'm going to get this up for you real quick. Forgive me for not having it all set and ready to go. All righty. So let's share that screen. Okay, so I'm hoping that you can actually see this, okay? Right here, it says good vibes only, so vibration and frequency and energy. Right here, we have a picture of a girl leaping from one mountain to another, and I hope you experience that in your life for sure. And then here we have a guy in the refrigerator, and all there is in the refrigerator is greens. So pure eating and exercise are super important to elevating your frequency. And then here we have some exercise. And then we have the program that I was talking about, Temple Tough, which engages emotions, mindset. It also engages spirituality. And there is, I have a lot of affiliates that are kingdom minded that I send people out to with regard to cooking pure and running some tests. It's an incredible community, an incredible support system. And then of course, organic is really good, carries a higher frequency, no matter what you're eating. And there's apps that you can put on your phone when you go into the grocery store to test those things. Connect with me, email me, go onto my website and I can share those things with you. And then also if you are having a spa day, okay, so having a spa day, even if it's virtual, can actually increase your frequency. So I just wanted you to be aware of that as we're moving forward here. All those things actually help elevate your frequency, which have a powerful positive impact on your health. So what else can raise our frequency besides eating pure and exercising? Well, speaking with grace, being kind, seeking counsel when you need it rather than just staying stuck, but going and getting unstuck, okay? Don't do your life alone, okay? Journaling truthfully, seeing what comes up. Take the time to get quiet with yourself and see how you're doing. Ask yourself questions. It's super important and it's very valuable. Use essential oils. Essential oils are amazing. Color is amazing. Use vibrant colors to just see how you respond to them. I know some of you know that there are certain colors that you really relate to. And the essential oils, of course, I say Young Living. Definitely use Young Living essential oils. They are very pure, but they can actually shift your frequency and elevate your frequency. Possibly you have a diffuser in your home and you can use that too. Get rid of unhealthy emotions and love. Love is a very, very powerful emotion. It's a very powerful thing to choose to love, even if the emotion is not necessarily there. But choosing to love raises your frequency. Um, and also talking to God. When you pray, scientists have proven that it elevates frequency. When people are in hospitals and they're sick, when they are praying or when they have people come in and pray for them, just like what happened to me, it elevates frequency. And also know what God says about you. Build intimacy with God. Build intimacy with people around you. That elevates your frequency as well. All of these things have been proven to elevate frequency and strengthen your immune system. And there are devices that can assist you in raising that frequency. So please contact me for more information about that, because that's what I do in my office in Auburn. And I would love to share more with you. I have a device that's called Healy. You can look that up, H-E-A-L-Y. It is a medical device that's been cleared by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. It has non-medical applications that use individualized frequencies to help balance the mind and the body and relieve stress. So I would love to share more about that with you. So understand this. Your value is amazing. What you carry, nobody else carries. Remember, nobody has your fingerprint. Everything you do, everything you eat, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, they all affect your health. And you're an incredible being. So gain your best health ever. Take notes, address everything, your emotions, your mindset, your spirituality, and look at your physical being. What is it saying to you? Because pure eating and exercise is only part of the equation. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We have no idea how incredible our bodies are, and we are learning more and more on how to restore, repair, and rebuild the damage we have done to our health. The more we learn, the more we can address obesity, ill health, cancer, strange viruses, and so much more. In Romans 8 in the Bible, it says that the entire universe is standing on tiptoe, yearning to see the unveiling of God's glorious sons and daughters. So that's you and that's me. And I'm really excited for you to learn more about your own health. I hope you connect with me. Go to my website for sure and connect with me. And I just want to pray that God will create in you a pure heart and will renew your spirit, a right spirit within you. We have access to his purity. And in him, all things were created, everything in the heavens and in the earth. That is such a strong belief. And a strong belief in identity is very powerful for your health. Everything that we see that's visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through God and for God. So I hope that you learned something from this talk that I just shared with you. And I hope that you do have your best health ever. And thank you for listening. And I hope to meet you either whether I do it virtually on Zoom or you actually stop in my office in Auburn. All right. God bless. Take care of you.